channel Go Digit. Today, in this video, we will learn about Azure functions. Yes, guys. Basically, although I used to make the video on the Business Central, but because Azure function is also a part of the Business Central now, you could say, because our Business Central SaaS version, which is a cloud-based ERP, is fully integrated with the Azure services. And as we know that initially, if we were working on the Navision and even if we are working on the Business Central on premise, and in case our solution have the .NET code available, so that .NET code is not compatible with the Business Central cloud version, that is the SaaS version. .NET variable is not supported in that cloud version of the Business Central. So obviously, we have to find an alternative way to provide the same kind of solution to our customers. So guys, just for the sake of it, because Business Central Cloud version is fully integrated with the Azure, so Azure portal provide us a platform, provide us one of the service called the Azure functions, through which we can not only uh, write the .NET code in it, but we can also connect our .NET code which we write in our Azure functions with the Business Central. Okay, so for to make all your .NET code, to make all your DLL available in the Azure function, or to write any .NET code from the scratch in the Azure functions, you must have to set up your account in the Microsoft Azure portal first and assign to uh, make your ID assigned to one of the subscription model. So guys, I've already make an account in the Azure portal, and I've subscribed to pay as you go subscription. So pay as you go subscription is something that you have to pay only whatever services you use in the Azure portal, right? So this is a very handy subscription model, because I don't need to worry about a complete subscription cost that I have to pay on monthly basis or yearly basis. No, it's not like that. Whatever service I use and whatever number of minutes I use their service, I have to pay only that amount. So it's like a consumption model. How much you consume, that only you would pay to the Microsoft. Okay, so once you log in, you will be presented with this kind of Azure portal. So here, uh, although because I've already used that, so that's why this function app is showing me here. In case you do, it's this icon is not visible in your dashboard, then obviously in the search button, you can type Azure functions. Uh, Let me type like this, functions. Yeah, function app. Okay, so you have to click here. So basically, as I told you, function app is based on the serverless architecture. Like you can type your code, you can type like the code of your C sharp, Python, JavaScript, and language based code you can write here, and that code will run on the Azure platform. Okay, so you don't need to set up any virtual machine. You don't need to set up or install any software to write down your particular code of Python or of JavaScript or of .NET. You don't need to do anything. You just have to worry about your code only. The lines, the line of code which you write, and this that code will be executed on the Azure platform. Okay, so for this, first of all, we have to create an app. Okay, so let me click on the create button, and here, uh, as you can see, the subscription is showing me pay as you go, and here in the resource group I can select my one of my existing resource group. So resource group is nothing but a group of whatever number of resources you will create and are using in the Azure platform. You can see all your resources, all your services under one hood, and that is called a resource group. Okay, now in the instance, to say instance detail, I have to type my function app name. And as you can see, for example, if I type here D365 BC, okay, so now you are seeing that my function app name is not limited to D365 BC, but it's a complete app name, D365 BC dot Azure websites.net. Okay, so this is about it. Now in the publish, I have the two options, code or the Docker container. So obviously I'm only concerned with the code. So I should select the code only, and then the runtime stack. So if you select here, you can see that you can write the code based on these languages or these platforms. For example, you can write .NET code, JavaScript code, Python based code, Java code, PowerShell coding, and I currently don't know about the custom handler, so I cannot comment on this part. But of course, you can select any of the particular languages. So if your Navision or if your current on-prem solution have the .NET code available written there, that solution have the DLL available. So you can select this one, and then you can write your .NET code in the function app. But in case you don't want to bring down your uh, uh, .NET code and you want to write down your own Python code or JavaScript code, so you can select different language model based on your need. So currently, because we want to see that how we can move our current .NET solution of Business Central on-premise to the Business Central SaaS version. So you can select that .NET here. So this way you can write all your .NET code, which is already written in the Navision and the Business Central in the Azure portal. So let me select this one. And now because .NET is something, the current version you can select the .NET framework is 6, so you can select that. The region is that on which region you want this app to be created. So because Azure has so many regions, Azure is available in multiple throughout the world, multiple countries throughout the world. So you can select any of the particular region. By default, I can select the central US only. Operating system is Windows. My .NET will run on the Windows. In case you select the Python, so for example, the current version of the Python is 3.9. So based on it, it is selected Linux here. Okay, so it's totally up to you. Although Python code can be run on the Windows, it doesn't matter at all. But of course, so it's like that. And the plan type is consumption model. So it has the consumption model, function premium, app service plan. But I believe, as I told you, my subscription model is also pay as you go. So you should select the consumption model. Like uh, for the number of minutes your code will run on the Azure portal, you have to pay Microsoft that particular amount only, right? So how much you consume, that only you need to pay. Okay, so after this, just click on review plus create, and it will some give you a summary about your function app. So I think you can just watch out that this is your name, this is your runtime stack, everything, and then you can click on the create button, and now it will start the deployment process. Means it is now creating a function app for you. Okay, so now basically once this deployment is successful, okay, now it is opening a separate page where it will show you this status that deployment is in progress, and once it is created successfully, it will give you a page of this overall summary and overview through which you can not only access your function app on on the browser, but there you can create multiple functions. Like for example, you can like if you want to create multiple programs based on it, you can create multiple programs here. Okay, so let's wait for a few seconds. I believe it will not take much time. So let's see. how much time it will take. I believe everything is done, although just a matter of few seconds, after which all the we will get the summary about our new function app. Guys, this is the okay, done. Your deployment is complete. So here's a button is available. Go to the resource. So I'm going to the resource here. So you can see this is my function app named D365BC. This is my resource group. Status is running. Subscription model is pay as you go. And now the most important thing, our URL. So as I told you before, the name, the complete URL to access our this function app is d365bc.azurewebsites.net. So you just click on it, and now it will show you this page that your function 4.0 app is up and running. Okay, so this is the way like you have successfully created your function app. So now when you see that our function app is running perfectly, so after this, what you can do is that in case you want to put your solution, like if you have an existing solution available uh, uh, of .NET solution available somewhere in your local system, which you just want to use in your Business Central SaaS version. So what you have to do is that you need to add one keyword here like SCM after your name of function app, which is D365BC. You have to add this SCM and press enter. Okay, once it opens up, you have to go to the debug console, click on the command prompt. Okay, so now it will give you a directory, a file directory. Okay, just like when our Business Central on-prem version is up and running on the IIS, we have one folder of www root in the C drive. So same here, like you can go to the site, okay, and under the site you will find this folder of www root. So here, what you can do is that you can create a new folder of like you can name it as bin, and under this you can place all your DLL files, the current solution which you are having. Okay, so now after which you add all your DLL files there. So that's it. Now your DLL file is up and running there. After which, what you need to do is that uh, you have to go back to your function app, and there when you like to create a function code. Okay, there is a standard code of different triggers of different triggers available in this function app, uh, which helps us in integration of our .NET code with our Business Central solution. So let's see that. For example, click on the functions. Okay, and when you click on the functions here, you can create multiple uh, code which you can use to connect your Business Center solution with your .NET code. Okay, so for example, let me click on the create button, and now it will give you a list of all the triggers, okay, which are available based on your need. You can select one. So for example, we know in the Business Central we have the variables, we have the data types of HTTP request, HTTP response, HTTP content, through which we connect to the different APIs. So it's like a same model. So what we can do is that we can select this HTTP trigger, and as soon as you select this, you will see here the name of your function which you want to get. So for example, the current default name is HTTP trigger 1. That's it, fine with me. Now in the authorization level, you have these three options available: function, anonymous, and admin. So if you select this function, so it will give you a key, a password, through which only you can connect to this code. connect to this trigger. Okay, so in case you don't want to use any particular uh, password, then you can select anonymous, which means you don't need to provide any key while making a connection with this function. Okay, there is a third option called admin. Admin is uh, like a, you can say, a main user, like a admin password, just like we have in our system, that which is not any particular function specific. Okay, it can be it is a password, like it's a password of your main function app. Okay, when you create a main function app, in the app keys we have the passwords with us. So with the same password you can access all the functions which you will create here. Okay, so it does not matter. For example, if I select the function and click on the create button, so it will create one function for me. Okay, in the same fashion, let me go back again to my function app and create a second function called HTTP trigger 2 this time. And let me select anonymous this time. So let me select the HTTP trigger here, and this time let me select anonymous and click on the create. And now we have the two functions available of these are the, for example, if I select this one. Okay, so as you can see, it's a part of my this function app, the status is enabled, and just click on the code plus test. So this is the main area where you can write all your .NET code, right? So here you can see my .NET code is showing here. Okay, you can see it's a default code written by the function app. But here, what you can do is that you can write your own code. For example, if you have, like, here we have placed our current DLL solution, so we can use that DLL library here. It will be available because you have added that. Okay, you just have to use this syntax. Okay, or if you see, this is the correct syntax, that hash r and the path of your directory where you path of your DLL where you place your directory where you place your DLL. Okay, so you have to use that syntax here, hash r and the complete path, and then you will be able to access all your classes which are a part of that DLL. Okay, so for that, of course, you need to have a knowledge of C sharp. Then only you can modify some of the existing code here and write down uh, a code from the scratch in this place. But this is the area where you need to write all your .NET code. Okay, so currently it's a simple HTTP code written here, through which one request is raised, and once the request is passed from the business center, from here it will print out the name. Okay, so we have the two functions available. Both the functions have the same default code is written. Okay, so now this is a part one of the video, guys, because currently I'm telling you or how to create a function app via Azure portal, and how to check that whether the function which you have created is working or not. So I'm not going to write down any code from the Business Central, but I'm going to show you how to access this service, which is now a part available in this Azure portal via Postman or via any of the third-party extensions through which you can check whether this function you will be able to access or not. Okay, so for that, let me go back again to my this HTTP trigger one. Okay, once you go here, you will see this button called get function URL. Click here and you have this complete code available. Now see the difference. For example, the first HTTP trigger, the first function which you have created, in that the authentication level we use as the function. So that's why you can see the function key is added. This is nothing but just a password you could understand in a layman terms. So this is already added and a part of the URL. But in case if you want to go and check the HTTP trigger too and click on the get function URL, so it's not showing me currently. Let me see again. So this is the code, current code which is written here. Let me go to the overview again. Okay, now it is enabled. Click here and you can see it now. A simple URL, no key is added because here we have used anonymous method. Okay, so there is no key is added to it. But both of these functions we will access. Uh, Let me copy this code via one of the extension which I use in the VS Code. It's similar to the Postman. So it's for example, you click on the Thunder client, okay, and you click on the Thunder client and click on the new request. So it's similar to be like a Postman. Okay, so just paste your URL, and obviously we have to send the get request. So this is the get only here, and in the header you have to add a name which is Kapil Kumar. This is my name. So because in the code we are passing a request of name, that's why I added the name here. Okay, so it just this information we will pass uh, as a header to the get request so that it will authenticate and check that you are the genuine user. Okay, so now you click on the send button and you can see status is okay. This HTTP triggered function executed successfully. Pass a name in the query string or in the request body for a personalized response. So let's pass a name. So what I can do here is that name is equals to Kapil. So click on send and you can see hello Kapil, this HTTP triggered function executed successfully, right? So if this HTTP trigger function is working, I'm able to access. That means that code is accessible now. And in the business center, if I write down the code of HTTP request, HTTP response, so from there I can access my .NET code, right? So this is the HTTP trigger 2 which I am accessing because there is no authentication required for it. But now if I want to access all my functions which are available here, so for example, if I can go to the HTTP trigger 1 and copy this get function URL, and let me go back again here and change my URL. Now you see the code, the key which I'm passing in the URL is automatically added in the query parameters. Click on send and the response is similar. Okay, now one thing is guys that in case for example, let me show you first that if I add the name here just like we have seen in the other request, so I just have to use the ampersand which is attached with the code. uh, okay, just click on send and hello Kapil, this is the same output you will get. But one thing is that there is another way of accessing all your function apps all your functions through the key of your function app. So open your function app, go to your function app. Here you will see all your functions available, and in the left corner you can see this app key section. So in this app key section, we have this host keys available. Okay, so what you can do, you can select this default key, copy this, and just paste it here. Okay, so it's a key of your function app. Your function app is the parent app, okay, which contains multiple functions. So you're not passing a key of your function, you're passing a function app key here, which will work with all your functions. So let's see. uh, this is my first function. If I click on send now, it's working. Okay, if I select my second function, so let me change the trigger, let me change the URL, and I know my second function is HTTP trigger 2. So I just paste here and click on send, and then you can see it's still working. So what you can do is that rather than using a different function key for all your different functions, you just use your default app app key for your function app, which will work with all your functions. Okay, so guys, this is the way through which you can not only write your code in the Azure portal or .NET code, Python code, but via this HTTP trigger, you can access that or run that code and get the output from that code into your Business Central solution very easily, right? So that is the way through which you can write down all your .NET code, and if you want to uh, build any functionality which you cannot build directly from the AL language, so you can, this is the way, this is the best way which you can use for all your uh, needful solutions. Okay, so guys, I think this is a part one of the video which I want, where I want to cover all this part. In the second part of the video, I will show you how you can connect or everything which we have done via Azure portal through the VS Code only. Okay, so let's see next week that section, that part. And till then, a very goodbye to everyone. And I hope if you like this video, I request you to please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.